What up, what up, what up? YouTube Live. How's it going, everybody? Everybody, come on, dance tonight. All right, let me put on the social media now that I am currently live at youtube.com/Rama screen. I am now live at youtube.com and Rama screen. Alrighty then. Okay, cool. Come on. My internet has been acting up these past few days, man. The last live stream I did for you guys was the news about the Academy reversing their decision to throw four categories under commercial break. Oh, excuse me. Trying to get as comfortable as possible here. Give me a second. Okay, that should be okay. All right. Nope, nope. I'm still hitting the microphone here. Okay, maybe if I reverse my seat a little bit here. There you go. That's much better. So that live stream did not come out really well. It was like skipping and buffering and the Wi-Fi, man. Wi-Fi. Um, it's a love-hate relationship, with internet. You can't live with them. You can't live without them. So now I'm back. I'm gonna be doing 3 live streams today. The first one is this one. I'm gonna give you my review of the Umbrella Academy, which I enjoyed, even though it has some elements to it that I find too generic. And then later on this evening, I will be giving you my reviews of both The Walking Dead and True Detective new episodes. Oh my God, I can't believe True Detective is almost over. Next Sunday, the Oscar Sunday, that's the season 3 finale of True Detective. So we're going to be saying goodbye until whenever season 4 arrives. This is one show that takes its sweet damn time, right, man, for a new season to be developed again. So all right, let's get right to it. I got a few notes here about the Umbrella Academy. By the way, with all my episode recaps and TV reviews, this too contains spoilers. So spoiler alert, you've been warned. I will be spilling some spoilers. Okay. The Umbrella Academy essentially is based on let me get this. Dark Horse. There you go. Dark Horse comic books. And it is created by, let's see, I want to get the names correctly. Whenever I butcher a name, people will pick that up really easily, and they'll like pile on me just because, oh, Rama, you got to get that name right. So okay, so the names of the creator of this Dark Horse comic books, the Umbrella Academy, are two people, Gerard Way and Gabriel Ba. And so this TV version is created and developed by Steve Blackman, who worked on it with Jeremy Slater. Jeremy Slater is a pretty known filmmaker. Let me get this filmography here. Producer, I mean, not director. The Exorcist series, he produced. The Umbrella Academy. He wrote Death Note. That was his screenplay credit. And Fantastic Four in 2015. Well, you might not want to brag about that one. Okay, so the story in a nutshell is about these group of misfit kids. They happen to be born on the same day under very peculiar circumstance, in that their mothers never had to go through 9 months of pregnancy and all that process. All of a sudden they just give birth. So miraculously. And these kids, there are 7 of them, have powers. Well, in the beginning of the show, it says that six have powers, and one, Vanya, the youngest one, is the not so special one. She doesn't have powers, supposedly. And so they were taken from their parents, their biological parents. They're taken away from their parents by this eccentric billionaire, um, Sir Reginald Hargreaves, who want to build a team of superhero kids. And that's exactly what he pretty much does. And throughout the years, he trains them. Um, he helps them own their skills, and they would become famous for fighting bad guys, kicking bank robbers' ass, what have you, right? And so the powers are different, each of them. I believe Luther, number one. Oh, by the way, he identifies each one with numbers, but also they also have their own names, except for number five, who is just number five. Number one is Luther, and Luther, I think his power is strength, and Diego, his power is precision, kind of like Bullseye in Daredevil, and his weapon of choice is knives. So he's really good at throwing them on target. Um, who else? Allison, her power is the power of persuasion. She can whisper you into doing things for her, and she'll say something along the lines of, "Rumor has it, or the rumor is da 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 that you would do this, you would do my homework, whatever, right?" And that person will do them. So kind of like Kilgrave. You know Kilgrave, David Tennant's villainous character in Jessica Jones. So he can make you do things for him. That's the same thing with Allison. Robert Sheehan's character Klaus. Klaus can speak with the dead. All right. Just like that kid from The Sixth Sense, I see dead people. That's Klaus. And let's see who else. And Aiden Gallagher plays number five. Number five, his power is pretty cool. He can pretty much teleport, not just like from one place to the next, but also time travel. And that's where the story pretty much takes an interesting turn because of what he finds out in the future. And then who else? Okay, Mary J. Blige is here. The legendary Mary J. Blige. I love her. I met Mary J. Blige, I think, at the press junket for The Help. That's like 9 years ago, man. Um, she did a song for it, on the soundtrack part for the movie The Help. So she was there at the press junket, and I met her. And I was like so geeking out. And she's here playing Cha Cha, and she's the partner of Hazel. Hazel's played by Cameron Britton. So Cha Cha and Hazel are basically time traveling agents. uh, who else? I want to give you the characters here before we dive into it. John Magaro plays Leonard Peabody, who ends up being also Harold Jenkins. Adam Godley, I think, does the voice for Pogo. Pogo is the ape butler, because Bruce Wayne has Alfred. Mr. Hargreaves has Pogo, the ape, the talking ape, talking brilliant ape, very sophisticated and intellectual, and yeah, very cultured. And Sheila McCarthy plays Agnes. Agnes is this waiter at a donut shop who falls in love with Hazel, vice versa. Hazel falls in love with her. And Vanya is played by Oscar nominee Ellen Page. Now, I just want to say that it's interesting that Ellen Page finds herself in this story or in this project or in this series because she was part of X-Men. She played Kitty Pryde, remember? Her role was even more prominent in X-Men: Days of Future Past in 2014, where she kind of helped Hugh Jackman's Wolverine go back in time. So this show has, like a boarding school teaching kids with powers, and then a billionaire overseeing them, and there's time traveling element. Hello, it's like Ellen Page is finding herself in another alternate version of what she did in 2014 with X-Men: Days of Future Past. Um, I forgot to mention Tom Hopper plays Luther. Tom Hopper is an actor from one of my favorite series, Black Sails. He also showed up in Game of Thrones very briefly. I interviewed Tom Hopper twice, believe it or not. I interviewed Tom Hopper for Black Sails, and I interviewed him also for one of his smaller budget action film. This was like a few years ago. So I'll provide the links to my interviews, both of them, my interviews with Tom Hopper, so you guys can check it out. Both those interviews are at ramascreen.com. And Aidan Gallagher, who plays number 5, is the youngest of them all. Literally, he's a kid. But this is one brilliant young actor. If you've seen this show, you'll be like, whoa, who is this Aidan Gallagher? Because, man, he's got the spunk, man. He's got the energy. Like, not energy is not the right word. He's like an he's perfect for the role because he's supposed to be an old soul, right? An old soul in a kid's body. And that's exactly how Aidan Gallagher plays it. To a certain extent, to a certain extent, he even kind of has that mafioso kind of persona. Um, really lots of attitude with this one. I love it. He's one of my favorite characters. But I must say that Robert Sheehan as Klaus is the funniest one. He's got the funniest line in this show. And the reason why Klaus is hilarious, or that he's the comic relief, it's because Klaus is a junkie and he's pessimistic. Um, and he's pretty much a coward. So that's why he always resorts to drugs as opposed to, I don't know, as opposed to facing whatever problems in front of him head on. But his heart is in the right place. So, but he's got the funniest lines, and Robert Sheehan plays it in the most fabulous, flamboyant way. um, so that's a little bit about the context. Basically, number 5 finds out in the future that the world comes to an end. There's some sort of a nuclear catastrophe. Of course, you can call it an apocalypse. Everything burned out. It's like a scene from the movie The Road with Viggo Mortensen. Remember that one? Everything's like debris and dust and dirt. And so in this future, once number 5 hits that future, he gets stuck in there for 30 years. 30 years. So he grows up in this future until he comes across this particular character played by, I believe, Kate Walsh. Let's see what her character's name is. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I'll find it here on IMDb. But so she hires him basically to be an assassin. So number 5, grown up number 5, would go from time or from era to era, and he would be responsible for the deaths of, certain key political or historical figures, from the Duke of, what is it, the World War One, Duke of Ferdinand, all the way till JFK, up until the point where pretty much he betrays his own boss. He wants to go back to 2019 in order to stop the apocalypse. But his boss doesn't want that to happen because this organization, this organization that hires him, relies on that apocalypse, because otherwise they would not exist if the apocalypse did not happen. Do you see what I'm saying? So, in order for them to be them, the apocalypse has to take place. Um, so that's the dilemma at hand. Um, but at the heart of it, the crust of it, the theme is about what is special versus what you think makes you special. And that is embodied by, or the struggle, embodied by the struggle within Ellen Page's character, Vanya. Because remember what I said, she is the only one of the seven who supposedly does not have powers, right? She's supposedly ordinary. And that kind of, when I see that in the beginning of the episodes, episode 1, 2, 3, when they mentioned that a few times, I'm like, really, really, okay. So she's born on the same day as them, and through miraculous birth, um, but she doesn't have powers. That's a little fishy. That's a little fishy. I'm not buying that at all. And turns out later on, it's revealed that she kind of does have powers, and the most destructive of them all. Um, so that's in a nutshell. I got a few notes here. I want to share you my thoughts real quick. First of all, bird's eye view opinion here. Um, as you know, Doom Patrol is kind of like this. X-Men is kind of like this. What else? Deadly Class has the same formula as well. It's getting more and more common now. Each of them has its own take, but they all have the same underlining kind of themes or attributes or motives to it. And I guess my question is, I don't know by which point will we the audience get tired of this same um, setting, the same setup. Somebody with too much money taking in a few misfit kids. It's like we've seen this song and dance number 1,000 times before. Have we gotten to the point? Have we gotten to that point where we are tired of it, or not yet? Um, but to compare this to Titans live action series, what I noticed when I watch this show and Deadly Class and X-Men and uh, others like it is that they always have a base. So here's what I mean by that. Titans, the live action with Brenton Thwaites playing Robin this past fall season. They don't have a base, you know. Beast Boy, Robin, Stargirl, Raven, they don't have a base. They don't have a home base. That's why in that show you'll notice that they do a lot of road trips. They drive a lot from one place to the next. Sometimes even to like to search for one of their own. But they'll drive, right? Uh, you would think that one of their home base will be that Bruce Wayne tower, that Bruce Wayne mansion, not mansion, penthouse. But no, the next thing you'll see them in a motel room. The next thing you'll see them in an asylum. The next thing you'll see them in a warehouse training, and the next thing you'll see them, I don't know, in that house owned by Raven's mom. So they don't have a home base, which is very, I guess it deviates from the formula of other shows like it, because even the Runaways on Hulu, they have a home base. They got this underground mansion going on with them, right? Sorry, let me get a. So the same case with Doom Patrol and Umbrella Academy and X-Men and Deadly Class, where the characters sometimes would come and go, or they would be able to leave the boarding school or the place or the mansion, but they'll always have that home base to go back to whenever they want or whenever they need to, and that provides some assurance, some security for them, at least in my opinion, um, that no matter how far they've gone astray, they can always come back. They can always feel like, oh, I have what is considered to be a home to go back to. That's not the case with Titans. Another thing I have here on my note that I'm a little disappointed that in episode 10 of the Umbrella Academy, the final episode of this season 1, they show a little bit of the backstory of Mr. Hargreaves back when he was younger. Apparently, he loses his wife to some sickness, and so he emigrates to the United States of America and then opens up an umbrella shop. That's how he gets the name the Umbrella. Um, but it's never explored throughout this show, or even in that episode 10. It never reveals to us, it's never revealed to us the motivation or the reason why he wants to build that team of superhero kids. You can argue, hey, maybe Rama, because he just feels like it. He's got this money to spare. He doesn't have kids of his own. Why the hell not? Yeah, you can make that argument. And you can make an argument maybe like, hey, maybe Rama, he knows that the world is going to end in 2019. So I don't know about that argument, because otherwise he would not probably take in uh, Vanya at her young age. If he had foreseen that would happen, because Vanya is responsible for that eventually, ultimately, he would not have taken her in. So I'm not sure about that argument. So back to my point, I'm a little annoyed that the show never actually revealed why he felt the need to create this team of superhero kids called the Umbrella Academy. What is that? Is is it what is it about the death of his wife that makes him like, you know what? I'm gonna go to America, start anew. Oh yes, and I'm gonna steal babies and train them into superheroes. Now you may have seen it. If you've seen the show, you may have like, hey Rama, this is his motivation, and I may have overlooked it. If so, let me know. Let me know if I overlooked it. What is it that caused Hargreaves to want to go down this path in the first place? Um, the reason why I said earlier that it's kind of generic, not only the superhero aspect of it, like I said, the similarities between this and X-Men and Deadly Class and Doom Patrol, but even the science fiction of it, the time travel of it, and the two agents, Chacha and Hazel, going back to time to kill number 5. I'm like, okay, Terminator much? The Hulu's Future Man much? It just doesn't, it obviously doesn't feel original, and so a part of me feels like, oh man, not this again. It's an exhausted concept, been played out many times. um so I guess the reason why I ultimately do enjoy the show is not necessarily because of the concepts. All right, even the mystery of it all, every episode ends with a cliffhanger, like one of the episodes, like, oh, turns out we got to find this guy named Harold Jenkins. So you want to turn to the next chapter, or play the next episode to find out who this Harold Jenkins is because of that, right? But even with those mysteries and all, that's not what I find appealing. um what I find appealing about this show is mostly the characters. And the reason is because unlike X-Men or Deadly Class or Doom Patrol, um, where we see them as they currently are in their current state of being, um, in the Umbrella Academy, their present state of being, their current state of being, Vanya, Luther, Diego, Allison, Klaus, number 5, they are affected by their years of being superhero kids. So they're like damaged individuals. Their dad gives them this tough love thing. And so there's always that longing for, like, why doesn't our dad ever love us? And then their mom is a machine, not necessarily an actual mom, but that's the only one person available. So they do develop attachment to her. And so whereas X-Men, Deadly Class, and Doom Patrol are, yes, affected by their past, but it's not like 20, 30, like when I was a kid kind of past, their past, especially in Doom Patrol, already happened when they're already grown up. That the 80s, Brendan Fraser, or the 50s, Rita, they're already adult. Um, you can probably argue X-Men is kind of like this similarity because they also accept kids mutants over there, but most of them are also grown-ups there, or at least young adults. Um, and Deadly Class, they're basically training to become assassins to join their parents' criminal organizations. So Deadly Class is different in that way, where you want to see. This is one of the shows that you want to see the flashbacks. You can't wait to see the flashbacks because you want to see what happened, what it is, that point in time that actually damaged this individual. Um, so to me, that's the appeal of the show. Not necessarily the time travel concept, not necessarily the powers and the abilities that they can do, although it's cool when you see them. Um, but you're like, oh man, why is Klaus acting this way? There's got to be something when he was a kid that kind of hurt him, that made him become that. And the show does give us those instances, and that's a good thing. And that curiosity, that's like, oh, this is probably the only show that I can think of in a while where I actually look forward to the flashbacks. Usually in other shows, the flashbacks, I just fast forward them. I was like, whatever. I do some backstory, probably boring parts. But the flashbacks in this show hold the clues, hold the answers, hold the keys, and put the pieces together. For the present story, present setting story. So I love that. I love that about this show. I think whether or not you would call the Umbrella Academy a slow burn, it's relative. Um, I think there are parts about it that kind of require some patience on your part, especially uh, the parts where Leonard, aka Harold Jenkins, tries to befriend and tries to capture the attraction and attention of Vanya. Those moments, I think, in my opinion, are kind of too plenty. Instead of the right amount, they spend too much time on that aspect. I think parts of that could be replaced by what I said earlier, maybe flashbacks about Hargreaves and that moment that makes him like, I got to start an Umbrella Academy. I got to start a superhero. It'd be nice to see that. Unfortunately, season one doesn't give us that. It'd be nice if some of those moments that take up space and time, like by Leonard and Vanya's romance, the whole relationship arc. It'd be nice for those. It'd be nice if some of that aspect could be, I don't know, could be replaced or could be filled instead by moments of Hargreaves past. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that would have been something that would be nice. Maybe they should take that into consideration for season two. So that's probably one criticism that I have about this show. Um, the humor actually is pretty spot on. It's not prevalent. You don't crack up often watching this show. This is Even the action is pretty brief compared to the drama, so it's more drama oriented. Um, so that's something you need to look, or just a heads up for you coming into the show if you're coming in fresh. It's a drama heavy show. If you're expecting action packed, fight scenes every 5 minutes or so, you may want to keep your expectations low. They do have those moments. Don't get me wrong, especially in the final episode 10, where bullets are flying everywhere. But it doesn't happen often. All right, it's mostly about the relationships of these seven people, and I love how it is really, really hard, really, really complex, really challenging for them to become a team again. You can tell that they left that mansion for what, 13 years, because they don't feel warmth, and they want a normal life like normal people, paying bills, working 9 to 5. They don't want to be like, I guess, be considered as freaks or abnormals anymore or whatever. um on top of the fact that they never feel the genuine unconditional love from their dad. So coming back to that house again after their dad dies, it brings up all these tension and resentment and bad blood, and it permeates throughout the whole season, where there'll be times when, for example, a couple of them will be like, okay, let's go find that person, let's interrogate him, yeah, for example. And the others will be like, why do I gotta go with you? Who died and made you leader? Or like one of them will be like, no, I gotta check with my daughter, because I have a daughter now. I can't mess with all this mission thing. This is not me anymore. And there's another one that says, why? I mean, I'm not special, I don't have powers. Why do I have to do this? So each of them has their own individual reason to not want to be a team again. So that's also, I think, part of the appeal, because there are moments throughout the season where I'm like, oh, why can't you guys just work together already? I'll be like, oh, yelling at the screen. I'm like, come on, you can't, you gotta stick together. All right. This whole each of you guys, oh, I can do this my own way, or I can do it my own. It's like it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And but it's fun to see how the writers of this show do not want to give that easily to you guys. They'll show they'll show to you guys flashbacks of them when they were a solid team back when they were kids, but now that they're adults, having opinions of their own, not easily taking orders like they did back in the day from their dad, and like I said, resentment towards each other, and grudge and secrets. There's a lot of secrets held in this among them in this show, and because of that, the writers like, yeah, we're not gonna make this easy. We're not gonna just have them be a team and that's it. Um, Not until the very, very end, when when actually they team up, and and it's pretty rewarding to say the least. Um, so that's also another appeal, I think, of the Umbrella Academy, in that just as much as in that as much as you want them to become a team, it's not going to happen that easily, and it's because you got to go through the dramas first. The dramas have to have to make their rounds basically, and so yeah, which goes back to my earlier point that sometimes watching this show does require your patience. um, so overall, to end on this note, um, Umbrella Academy is not, I would not describe it as original. I probably would not describe it as new or unique. I wouldn't even use the word refreshing. As I said earlier, the concepts are pretty familiar, right? That's why we can draw comparisons to X-Men Deadly Class and Doom Patrol. And of course, the time travel thing, it's yeah. So it's not original and new from that standpoint. But I think if you see it from my perspective, like I said earlier, the appeal is the relationships and the flashbacks and the unlocking of some of the mysteries in the past and the secrets of what it is that actually damaged these individuals and how they overcome that hurt, that pain. That I think if you approach the Umbrella Academy from that angle, I think I think you're gonna enjoy this show as much as I did. Uh, yeah. Just one last note before I go, and before I announce the winner of Nobody's Full Blu-ray giveaway. Yes, I'll be announcing it today. Um, Tom Hopper. All right, this is just a fun fact. Tom Hopper, he plays Billy Bones in Black Sails. Again, I'm a big fan of Black Sails, and it's interesting to see where some of the cast members of Black Sails ends up. I don't know many of them where they are right now. Clara Paget, excuse me, Hannah New, Toby Schmidt. Not sure where they, not sure. I'm not sure what shows or what movies they're doing right now. But Zach McGowan, who plays Captain Charles Vane, um, he ends up in a few episodes of Lethal Weapon and The Walking Dead. But he's now busy making straight to VOD movies. Toby Stevens, who plays Captain Flint, he's actually part of that Netflix show. The title escapes me right now. Lost in Space. There you go. He plays John Robinson in Lost in Space. And Jessica Parker Kennedy, who plays Max, she now plays Nora or XX in The Flash current season 5. So, and Tom Hopper is in the Umbrella Academy. It's good to see, I just want to say that it's good to see cast members of your favorite show still getting employed out there. It's tough being an actor. I know, right? It's a known fact. So it's good to see them actually doing things again. So please go check out the Umbrella Academy if you can. If you have less than 10 hours to spend to binge watch, I highly recommend you go watch the Umbrella Academy. Um, Now, I want to announce the winner of Nobody's Fool Blu-ray combo pack. Nobody's Fool is that Tyler Perry movie starring Tika Sumpter and Tiffany Haddish. And as you know, Rama Screen giveaways are done through Gleam. So again, I don't pick the winners manually. It's a random pick. And one of you guys asked, "Hey Rama, can I also participate?" And I think he's from England. And my answer is that I'm sorry, but Rama Screen giveaways right now is only for American audiences or fans in America, Rama Screen fans in America, mostly because uh, the ones that ship the prizes to the winners are not me, but they are the studios. The studios that allow me to hold the giveaways, and so they don't want to ship stuff overseas at the moment. They want to keep things domestically. So uh, usually I set it up so that Gleam can randomly pick the winner in the domestic, only within the United States addresses, or fans who live in the United States. So I'm just want to give it to you guys right now. If you feel like upset about it or whatnot, I'm so sorry, you guys. But right now, Rama Screen giveaways are only for fans in America. Okay, so the winner is the winner for Tyler Perry's Nobody's Fool Blu-ray combo pack giveaway is James Little. James Little from Charlotte, North Carolina. So, James, congratulations. Um, you are the winner of Nobody's Fool Blu-ray combo pack. Paramount will ship the prize directly to your address, hopefully in the coming week. And thank you for participating. And for those of you out there who did participate and did not win this time, please don't feel discouraged. Don't feel down. Don't feel down. There'll be plenty other more opportunities to come. And that opportunity has come. The next new Rama Screen giveaway is Overlord 4K. That's right. It's a chance to win Overlord 4K Blu-ray combo pack. Now I'll be doing a separate, much more refined video of it, with me saying, "Hey, giveaway!" But I'm just letting you know right now that right after this video, live stream video, I'll be posting the Overlord 4K Blu-ray giveaway combo pack, and of course, we can only pick one winner. So one winner, and it'll run for a week. So next Sunday, after the Oscars, I'll be going live stream right after the ceremony ends to give you my reaction to the winners of the Oscars. And within that same video, I will also announce the winners of both um, Overlord 4K Blu-ray giveaway and the winner of Ralph Breaks the Internet Blu-ray giveaway. So make sure you tune in next Sunday night, right after the Oscar ceremony ends, before I watch True Detective season finale. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in on this long rant, aka live stream review of the Umbrella Academy entire season 1. If you have seen the show and if you disagree with my assessment of it, or if you think that I miss out on some details about the Umbrella Academy that I may have overlooked but you noticed, please do share them. Share them in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts about the show. All right, right here in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell. And if you can help support Rama Screen channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Thank you so much. I'll be back tonight again, live streaming for both the Walking Dead episode and True Detective episode. So see you then. Let's rock this.